Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I want to talk about what I think is the best hero in Dota. And no, I'm not even just saying that. I genuinely think Broodmother is... If you are good at Broodmother, I actually think it's the best hero in Dota. And the reason why is it's one of the most stable laners in the game. On top of that, it can take buildings. On top of that, it can Roche. It can solo kill people. It can buy aura items. It can buy Orchid. It can do basically everything. And so I'm going to show you a game I played. And this is a game where I carried so unbelievably hard you wouldn't believe. And you might be like, Speed, are you serious? Are you serious? Looks like your team didn't do that bad. You have a 15-2 mid-doom. Okay, my mid-doom had a decent game. Decent, all right? Decent. Keep in mind, he rushes a Midas, right? And has the ability Devour. I'm sure you guys know what that does. And this Kunkka was not that far behind him until the Kunkka unfortunately died to the Doom. So shout out Doom for solo killing Kunkka at some point. However, I had two safe laners. So yeah, either way, I'm going to show you guys how to play Brood today. Even when you have two safe laners. I'm not kidding. You think one of these heroes played support? You might be thinking that based on the net worth. Nope. 15 CS, 12 CS. They were contesting each other CS. Yes, this is the immortal bracket. I don't know what to tell you. Either way, let's get into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the Game Leap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the Game Leap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. So specifically, I picked Brood this game, even though I think you could pick Brood literally every game first phase. I picked Brood second phase this game, and I have a stick. I'm against a Weaver Undying, so the stick is very valuable. Stick is actually more valuable against Undying, because the lower HP pool you have, the more flat regen or regen in general is worth, right? Because then when the decay goes away, it's like proportional, if that makes sense. And so the Brood web HP regen, the Insatiable Hunger lifesteal, and stick makes it where Brood is one of the only heroes that can actually lane against Undying relatively well. I'm not going to say you beat him, but you lane Undying quite well, because you can also do this, which is run into the trees. I tell my Tiny to drag the wave, and then I'm going to run into the trees and avoid the Undying. And yep, we're just chilling, right? We're just absolutely chilling. Unfortunately, Dota's a little bit bugged, so it says I have 1.9 regen, but that is a lie. I currently have 6.9 regen. And so as I kind of mentioned earlier, Brood is one of the only heroes that can lane basically anything. Because if the lane is really good, you can skill Silken Bola, and on a 24-second cooldown, you can just run at anyone and you're going to outtrade them. Like, the ability makes them slow for 6 seconds and miss 40% of the time for 6 seconds as well. It also does 100 damage, which is pretty decent, and makes you hit for 6 damage higher, magic damage. So this ability is insane. It's also only 70 mana. So if the lane is easy, you skill Silken Bola and you go from there. If you have a lot of stuns, you can even take your Q and get aggressive. However, in bad lanes, you take your Q, and for 8 seconds, you heal for 40% of your damage, and that's also with 35 bonus damage. So basically, I can pop my Q, and then I can just hit creeps. And with the web regen, and then clicking creeps with Insatiable Hunger, I go from 200 health to full HP. Who cares Undying? I don't care Undying. I don't care Undying at all. And then my Tiny drag the wave, which I told him to do, and we're absolutely chilling. We go from a lane that's relatively unplayable, considering I had a Boots, Mango, Tiny. You know what Boots, Mango, Tiny does against Weaver Undying? Nothing! It does nothing. It really does nothing. But it's fine. It really doesn't matter because of the lane. So I go for a Wand Wraith Band here. I just wanted to go general trading items. And the reason why, you'll see, I don't even have the trading items yet here, but the Undying goes really far up. And he goes really far up. And look at the trade. Most heroes can't trade Undying at all. Would you guys agree? If you disagree, you haven't played against Undying. Brood, it's not even close. It's not even close. Look. Not even close. Just absolutely destroy him. Now, to be fair, he gets some decent damage at the end, but it doesn't matter because he feeds me a lot of stick charges, and once again, I regen up, and all of a sudden, I'm full HP. Full HP. I'm full HP. Undying's half. Yes, he has some decays going, but he's out of regen. And so that's what's so cool about this hero. Even for a while, I thought Monkey King was its hardest counter. I don't even think that matchup's bad. Even though Monkey King can theoretically beat you in lane, even that matchup's really just not that bad. So yeah, it's just pretty cool. Just the one thing I'd keep in mind in the early levels when you only have web, pull a lot of creep aggro and play relatively defensive. as I even nearly solo kill the Weaver here. Basically, the key thing to this play is once Weaver commits Sakuchi, I basically know that he can't fight me at all. So he committed Sakuchi and didn't back off. He made the beginner's mistake of Weaver. Fortunately, he lives on like 1 health, but yeah, we chase him down and zone him out of the lane somewhat hard as well. So just really good start to the lane. My CS isn't great. You know, I'm definitely losing on CS, but considering I had a Tiny who couldn't help me and a Dying running at me, I'm pretty okay with that, right? I'm not even pretty okay with that. I'm very okay with that. So eventually, as time goes on, you're going to get your spiders. And when you're getting towards those spiders, hopefully your last hits are good enough where you can afford a soul ring. Keep in mind, most lanes I don't buy a wand. This is definitely the exception. It's just really good this lane against an Undying and a Weaver. It's really strong, so I pick up a wand. But this is not something I do most lanes because you want to have mana boots and soul ring as soon as you can, so that when you hit level 6, you can spam your abilities. Even during the lane, it's nice to have mana to spam your spells like the Silken Bola and the Insatiable Hunger, because you want to use them as much as humanly possible. But either way, we drop a sentry. I bought 2 sentries. This is obviously because I'm against Weaver and I want to kick him out of the lane. It's definitely a hero that cannot deal with spiders well. So essentially, 2 things can happen. He can bugs my spiders, and if he does that, I should just auto attack all the bugs and just get like 200 gold from it. It's insane how much gold Weaver can feed if he bugs your spiders. It's really awful, and he definitely should not do that, and he doesn't, to give him some credit. But I'm going to cut the wave here because basically I wanted to cut the wave quick, get as many spiders as possible, including spiderlings, because every time you kill a creep, if your spiders hit the creep before it dies, it will create a spiderling or a spiderite. I don't know. There's small spiders and big spiders when you're playing Brood. The big spiders come from the spawn spiderlings ability, and then I think spiderites are the small ones, and those come from killing creeps. So if your spiders hit a creep and it dies, it will spawn a spiderite, I believe is the name. It spawns a mini spider. That's all you need to know. And so I go on this guy here. We drop the E, and basically I put down the sentry. Oh wait, no, I don't put down the sentry here. Here I just force him out. And then he does this really weird thing where he like ends the Sakuchi right next to me, which is certainly horrible. But I think he didn't expect me to pressure under the tower. But we get his time lapse. Great. Step 1, get the time lapse, force out the time lapse. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then here, I wanted to wait a little bit as we get the Sakuchi, and now I built up a couple more spiders, and now we go on him, and I drop the sentry under the tower, and he sees it, and he's like, shit. So he runs to the left, but that's fine. We kind of force him to the left here, which is out into the open. So he does drop the Q there. The Kunkka even rotated over, but it didn't matter. He goes down, and that's a massive kill for me. Huge kill. I kill their safe laner. The Kunkka rotates over, which is huge, right? Their mid laner shifts over, but Kunkka doesn't really threaten Brood, not too well at least. So we just ignore the Kunkka, and we pick up a kill, and now we can start building up spiders again. All I had to do here is watch for Kunkka, which I actually didn't do there. So he instantly kills all my spiders. This matchup, not very fun. It's fine in the mid game. Kunkka against Brood mid game is not bad in the slightest, because I really think Kunkka does not do significant damage to Brood when you have a pipe. You just pipe when you get X'd, and Kunkka does like 200 damage to you. It's hilarious. But either way, we spam a bunch of clarities. We get a ring of health, so we have infinite regen, 23 regen when in the webs total, which is just nuts, right? I mean, it's just absolutely insane. We finish up our hood, which is going to go into the pipe. It just makes us really tanky. We basically can't die to ganks. The only thing I have to watch for is Kunkka on the map. Anytime you're playing Brood, you want to know who kills spiderlings. In this game, the only hero that truly threatens them is the Kunkka, and so he's dead right now, so I'm going to play Giga Flash Farm. Anytime that hero's dead, I'm just going to do what I can, right, to just farm everything, and that's exactly what I do here. I'm just going to farm absolutely everything, as we're going to take out a Centaur here, right, clear the Centaur, kill this creep, kill this creep. I come mid here, so, okay, this is a huge play. Why would I go mid here? So this is like a really, really advanced play, and the reason why I go mid exactly here is because the Kunkka TP's top, so I see him top, I'm like, okay, I don't want to lane this guy. I already killed this camp, I didn't kill this camp, but I don't want to run to the left, it's inefficient. Right? It doesn't go towards anything. So I didn't want to do that. And I have a bunch of spiders built up already. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to fight the Kunkka. He TP'd top, right? I know. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, okay. He actually ran top. That's a good play on his part. I didn't know that at the time. I thought he TP'd. So that's a good play on his part because then he could TP mid, but he didn't. I don't know why he didn't. He should have. He should have, because he should have defended the tower. But look, I just built up some spiders. Boom. Insta-killed, right? I take their top tier 1, take the mid tier 1. Their map just collapses, right? Just obliterate the map. Unfortunately, I didn't know the Kunkka was here, so he did kill my spiders, which was unfortunate because that would have made the fight really easy here. But once you instantly lose all your spiders, your hero is not weak. Like, you can see I can man up to the Weaver with Insatiable Hunger, funny enough. But I wasn't able to actually commit to this fight, which was a bit of a bummer. But considering I had, like, no backup and We take the mid-tier one. I'm more than happy, right? That was like super solid. Yeah, I think they end up trading for our tier one, but they brought a bunch of heroes mid to do it, where it was just like just me. You know what I mean? It was just me. I beat all the heroes there, and now we can get back to top and continue farming. And the key to Brood is to farm, because your hero's really good at farming and putting pressure by farming. If you don't play this way, your hero won't feel good. If you just try to fight, you will do nothing. You will be useless. But we get the pig pull. But instead, if you can get a pipe, I get a 13-minute pipe. All of a sudden, I'm like nearly top net worth behind a Midas Devoured Doom, like whatever, you know, it's fake. When you get this 13-minute pipe, it becomes a different game. You know what I mean? It's a different game, because you just show up to the fight and you can give your team, if you pipe 5 heroes, that's like 2,350 damage block in an AoE, like total. Like, that's crazy. And then it's also 15% AoE block. It's like what an early pipe does is unbelievable if used correctly. Unbelievable. And the big thing is it works on the spiders. So if a Mirana tries to Q it, or Weaver Sakuchis, or Undying Decays, or Veno ultis and Gales, actually I don't know if ulti works on the spiders, but it just doesn't matter. And you'll see mid here. I mean, this is the power of the Brood. I'm farming top. I get my pike. I'm like carrying the hell out of my double carries, who are both like poor. They're nearly more poor than the support Undying and Mirana. It's just... whatever, bro. Whatever. You know, whatever. Sometimes you got to carry these people to victory. Either way, we're getting our spiders, and I see that the Kunkka's bottom, and this is the key thing. You have to be able to pay attention to who counters you. When you can do that, when you can pay attention to who counters you, you become so much better as a player, because you see the gaps. You have to see the gaps. I see them pushed up mid here, because this is a pretty low rank game. I'm not going to lie. It was a really low rank game. I have a rank 900, 300, 500, 500, 300, 1,000. Like unranked immortal. I think this guy's actually MMR. But it was a low MMR game, so they make these mistakes pretty consistently, where they're just extending when, I mean, it's not a huge mistake, because I don't think it generally gets punished, but it's a mistake from like a macro perspective, where it's like, my hero is giga strong. My hero hard counters Veno. Veno can't fight Brood at all. Like, if I put the spiders on him, dead, right? What is he going to do? Gale them? He's bullet. He's not going to get away. So he needs to know that, and he needs to understand that I can make this play and play accordingly, but he's playing like a Chad when he's not a Chad. This guy is not a Chad. He's far from a Chad. He is what many call a beta. And when that happens, Brood eats the betas, and it just insta-dies. Like, one go from the spiders was just like a half his health. Just insta-dies, and he feeds away a 3-killing streak to me. Great. I get a 3-killing streak somehow. We're still kind of like even, which is crazy, but we farm out the top side, and I'm back to putting pressure on the top side of the map, as I'm going to clear all the camps once again. Boom, 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 boom. Camp, wave. I know where the wave is because I'm watching the clock. The wave always is in between the tier 1 and tier 2 in this area at 20, so I catch it there. I cut that, farm this camp. The Weaver comes top, but I can't pressure him, unfortunately. It's not like a great Brood matchup. I think Weaver's actually pretty decent against Brood. No joke, I think that matchup's pretty solid for Weaver. But yeah, I instead I just ignore him and I cut the waves, right? Whatever, I'm not going to chase him. I just cut the waves and go for my next item. I'm looking bottom here. I'm like, I want a TP, but I can't bring my spiders with me, obviously. So I only TP if I really think it's a good fight. Otherwise, I'd rather just keep putting this pressure on the top side of the map. Just keep cutting this wave, farming 3 camps, right? I wipe out this camp, cut the next top wave, right? And if Weaver ever stops cutting the top wave, if he ever TPs out, I'm going to take their tier 2. Right, so I just wipe through all this, nearly have a full Sange. I mean, look at my net worth just skyrocket during this. Absolutely skyrocket as we cut the top wave again. Never forget the wave. Always prioritize cutting the wave over all the neutrals. Weaver TPs out, look what happens. I decide not to show up to the fight because I'm like, they killed the Tiny. They killed the Tiny, our tower's not that low. I have the drums, which I always like buying after pipe. The pipe, I can pipe my spiders so they don't die to the nukes. The drums are really nice because it gives you a lot of HP. I like them for a couple of reasons. The HP from drums, the 140 health, and the movement speed synergizes really well with the survivability of pipe. Right? I don't get HP from pipe, so I want HP. The drum gives me HP and movement speed, and that really helps me stay alive with the help of the pipe. And when I click drums, I mean, look at the damage here. I only walk up and hit it because I have my Q and a dragon scale, and they all showed bottom. Usually I would just only use the spiders to stay safe, but I didn't feel threatened at all, and I knew the Weaver TP'd out and Kunkka wasn't there, so I take that. And then once again, I wipe through all the towers, as per usual. I take their outposts, so now I'm denying them XP. I'm setting up for an eventual Roche if my team isn't a bunch of bots who play bottom for 8,000 minutes straight. Like, this was the weirdest game I've played in a while. However, I think your average 2K, 3K game, if you get good at Brood, will look exactly like this. Because people just are too afraid to play the side lane, and they don't know where you are, and they're too afraid of you. So, like, for instance, here, like, look at this. I was like, what the hell are they doing? And then if they do walk into you, they don't bring the right heroes. And as long as you know which heroes kill the spiders and which don't, which is not that hard to figure out when you have pipe. It's like they need physical damage, physical cleave. They don't have that, they can't kill the spiders. There's not a lot of heroes in the game that have that. It's like Kunkka, Pango, Sven. There's like a few others, but you get the point, right? Like this Weaver walks over. I dropped my Bola. Did I accidentally drop it on the Weaver? Or did I just spiders him? Not accidentally. I think I was gonna try to bully the Weaver off, but then Undying walks over, whatever, I just insta-kill him. Like, just insta-kill him, and then spiders just destroy Tombstone. Even though there's like a million zombies, whatever. The spiders just insta-kill Tomb. Undying Brood is one of the worst Undying matchups in the game, because Brood can ignore you in the lane, and then just insta-kills your Tome if he's aware, right? So, like, now this Weaver comes over, whatever, we kill his Undying. And I TB bottom here because the Undying and Weaver were top. I'm like, okay, right, they're diving pretty hard. I know two heroes are top, so I TB bottom. I pick up a kill on neither of them. I bait the Veno. Kind of baits the Veno. Oh, Mirana dies on the back to the Monkey King as well, and then we chase down the Kunkka too. It's just a huge play, right? We bait them top, we get a kill top, take the outpost, force the Weaver top, then we TP bottom off that. I mean, it's just, I'm not gonna lie, it's just good gameplay, guys. Like, it's just good gameplay when you can force the enemy team around the map and understand who you can kill and who you can't. It just makes, I mean, it's easier said than done for sure, but it just makes a huge difference. It makes Dota so easy. It makes Dota so easy. There's no other way to put it. As once again, I want to build up some spiders so we get back to the top side. I also want to get to level 18 so I can build up spiders faster. If you don't know how it scales, basically it goes down in cooldown and makes more spiders. So it's a really big deal to actually get to level 18 on this hero. All right, next I buy an Octarine core. Basically, this is my chat item. If I'm like owning the game, I just buy an Octarine because you make more spiders. And then like you have a bunch of active items. I have a Halberd active, Soul Ring active, Drums active, Pipe active, Mana Boots active. Those disassemble in Octarine. But then 4 active spells. It's like you just can play so fast with 25% regen. And the cast range from Aether Lens is fantastic because you want to be poking people with Silken Bola and spiders. You don't want to commit your hero most of the time. You just want to, because when you hit level 20, you get AoE Silken Bola. It's an insanely good talent for just poking the enemy and chipping them down and forcing out their spells. And with the Octarine, you can do that on a lower cooldown from far away. You just become this menace who never has to commit in. And even if you do decide to commit in, like, look at this damage. This is what happens when you build up enough spiders on Brood and then you Silken Bola someone, because the Silken Bola buffs up the spider's damage, right? Every single spider hits for 9 extra, which is insane when you have 40, right? Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this damage. Like, what the hell is that? And then my spiders died of freaking Kunkka Cleave. What can you do? Bad matchup. It's actually not that bad of a matchup. I could be a bit more aware, but yeah, you have to be careful. Eventually, the main goal of playing top for so long is to take Roche, but my team just never was even close, so I just didn't force it. Like, I didn't feel like communicating to them to, like, move everyone slowly to mid and then to top. Like, I didn't want to make that call, so I just let them play bottom, do their thing, flash farm, and then if a fight happens to happen top, I'll call the Roche. And that's exactly what we do. Works out. And then look at this fight. I mean, we just zone out their entire team. I just don't care because I have 47% magic resist, which I think is actually, I thought it was supposed to be higher with pipe. I have 51% physical resist because my armor's pretty high. And then I have evasion and status resist. And then like 40 HP regen. I'm like so unkillable. It's insane. Like, I'm unbelievably unkillable. So I'll show you this fight here. I mean, we connect mid once again. This was actually more of a team fight. One of the first real team fights in the game. I connect over. I go on the Kunkka, which maybe I shouldn't have, honestly. It's kind of a waste of time. I was going to halberd him if he turned around, but he never did. Like, to hit my spiders, that's when I was going to halberd him. So I was saving it for that, but he never went in. But whatever, we're just poking him down. We're just chipping their backline. We break the Lincolns on the Weaver, so he has to panic now. Do get gone on a little bit, but it's whatever. I don't know how my team lost this fight so hard. They must have gotten, like, distracted by the Undying and the Weaver in the backline, but whatever. Fight ends. Heal up with Insatiable Hunger to full in the matter of seconds, because you can do that. Not that I didn't even need it. I would just heal up from the webs anyway. But we go back to top, and it's just a rinse repeat of putting pressure on the top side of the map, forcing them back. You'll see here, I drop the spiders on the tier 3. If they don't pay attention, if they don't react, they almost lose a tier 3. And then the Veno comes back, who doesn't defend, so I can just put my spiders on him. Unfortunately, Mirana came back, but, like, look at this guy. I do half his health. Just kick him out. Nearly take the tower. We almost find a Doom onto Kunkka, unfortunately, out of Lincoln's. But we're controlling the top side, cutting the wave. put in the pressure, farm the nearby camps, rinse, repeat, see them overextending mid. I knew the Kunkka wasn't even here. I'm like, what? How are they pushing up this far here? I know your Kunkka's in the base. You guys are crazy. But now we have the AoE Silken Bola. We hit an AoE Silken Bola on the 3. That's 55% movement speed and mischance on all of these heroes. And then, yeah, look at this Venom. Just gets eviscerated. Just absolutely destroyed. The Mirana's slowed because it's a 6-second slow. So she was still slowed until now. And we can chase her down. And with the Octarine, it's already back up. It's already back up. We're on the chase. Bola, spiders. Chase her down. All the mischance. Put the Halberd on the Weaver. Gets blocked by Lincolns. But, like, look at that damage. I mean, look at that, right? Like, it's insane. Unfortunately, the replay keeps bugging. But, like, on the Weaver, because even though he has high armor, it doesn't matter. Because the Silken Bola is magic damage. So he comes out, and we put the Silken Bola, and then the spiders just instantly drop him to, like, 1 health with the help of my ulti as well. Because the ulti is 420 burst damage, which is quite high. It's quite a high damage nuke on a 5.3 second cooldown. Like, you're just a good nuker. Like, your hero just nukes. And then I have 2 options here. I can go Ags if I just want to be like this annoying root, which could have been good this game because, like, you know, they're a bit mobile, especially against Weaver. The Ags is really good, but I decided to go for Hex just so I could instantly solo kill like anyone I bump into if I catch them in the right place. So just go the Hex. Hex with Octarine is so good too because you get the cast range, you get the cooldown. It's just so nice as we find that Venom once again. This time he bought Lotus, which is a good answer because it purges the Bola, but it's not that great. We kind of chase him anyway. And once again with the Octarine, it's just like, just back up. He just dies. Like, like these heroes, if they don't counter you, just can't play. They just can't play because you just poke them from infinite range and they can't, if they can't kill the spiders, you just, if they run at you, you Bola and you walk away. And if they run away, you obviously just chase them at max movement speed. It's just so crazy, man. As look at that. We nuke that guy out, take their tier 3, and this goes from a game with 2 carries to a game with, well, now we kind of have 4 carries because we were able to buy enough time. And that's why when people tell me, oh, I can't win these games when I'm getting griefed, like blah, blah, blah. I get it. Games are hard. Shit's hard. Like, my carry Dawnbreakers is dying. You know, like, it's hard, but you gotta put in the work. You gotta be good enough at a certain hero. And I will admit, I think Brood, if you get good at this hero, is easily one of the best heroes in solo queue at solo carrying. Even though it doesn't buy a single real damage item, it doesn't need it. It just becomes an absolute menace in team fights. You just have to learn when to connect. It's definitely a difficult hero, but man, it's a fun hero. It's satisfying. The lane is so good. It's reliable. It's always strong every game. There's just something different about Brood. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching. This game ends in a moment, so I'm not going to show you the rest. I will say when you hit level 25, you get this crazy 35% Silken Bola slow and mischance. That puts the slow up to 90% and the mischance up to 90%. If they can't dispel it, they can't auto attack. If you're against the carry who only has a BKB as his only dispel and that BKB ends, you will make him miss 90% of the time. 90% of the time. And he will move at 90% less movement speed. Like, I'll show it to you. I think I hit it, actually. Unfortunately, the game is kind of done now, but we hit it. You'll see it in a moment. If I bullet someone, which I think I do. Or they gave up. Maybe they gave up here, actually. I don't remember. I think, unfortunately, they gave up, so you're not going to see it yet. They did, but if we go into their fountain, which we do in a moment, if I bullet someone... So I Bola this Kunkka, right? Unfortunately, he's slowed by a bunch of stuff, but when it hits him, 100 movement speed, just flat 100, like literally minimum movement speed. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.